Hey everyone, welcome back to TV Deep Dive. I'm your host Amelia, and today we're breaking down the explosive season 1 finale of Beyond the Gates, episode 20, titled Judgment Day. If you've been following our recaps all season, you know we've been building to this moment for weeks. But if you're just joining us, first of all, where have you been? Make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell because this finale changed everything about Oakwood Estates. This is your official spoiler warning. We're covering every shocking revelation, every tearful confrontation, and yes, that death no one saw coming. So if you haven't watched yet, go do that and come back. Trust me, you don't want this one spoiled. After 19 episodes of secrets, lies, and power plays, Judgment Day delivers exactly what the title promises: a reckoning for nearly every resident of Oakwood Estates. The facade has completely crumbled, and there's no putting this community back together the way it was. The federal investigation into Vernon's business dealings reaching its climax, Anita's desperate final attempt to protect her family legacy, and the community meeting where all the season's revelations collide in spectacular fashion. What makes this finale so satisfying is how it pays off storylines that have been building since that first charity gala 19 episodes ago. Characters we've watched scheme, suffer, and evolve must finally face the consequences of their choices, and not everyone makes it out unscathed. Let's break down exactly how this masterful finale brings season 1 to a close. The episode opens with a dawn raid on the Dupree mansion. Federal agents with search warrants finally acting on the evidence Danny reluctantly provided to authorities back in episode 14. The image of Vernon in his silk pajamas, watching helplessly as agents seize computers and documents, is a powerful visual metaphor for his fall from power. This raid sequence brilliantly parallels the pilot's opening, where Vernon and Anita were preparing for the charity gala, Ishcheik. Both scenes feature their home being invaded, but under drastically different circumstances. Director uses similar camera movements and framing to highlight just how far the Duprees have fallen. 1. The documents confirm Vernon bribed officials and falsified environmental reports to build Oakwood Estates on land that should have been protected. 2. Bill Hamilton, despite his public rivalry with Vernon, was actually complicit in the original land deal, explaining their complex relationship and mutual assured destruction pact that was hinted at throughout the season. 3. Marcus Johnson, finally revealed after being mentioned since the pilot, was the whistleblower who originally tried to expose the corruption but died in what was ruled an accident. Though Ted Richardson's late-night confession to Nicole suggests it may have been something more sinister. The scene between Agent Carter and Danny, where she must formally identify her father's signature on incriminating documents, is gut-wrenching. Delivers a stunning performance as she chooses truth over family loyalty, her eyes conveying both resolve and devastation. First, she confronts Leslie Thomas about the evidence Leslie has been gathering all season. Their showdown in Leslie's real estate office is a masterclass in tension. Two women who've spent decades maintaining perfect exteriors finally revealing their true faces. The revelation that Leslie is actually Marcus Johnson's sister explains her season-long vendetta against the Duprees and Hamiltons. Second, Anita attempts to transfer assets before they can be frozen, calling in favors from community members who've benefited from Dupree generosity over the years. The montage of doors literally closing in her face as former friends abandon her perfectly captures her isolation. Finally, and perhaps the most shocking move, she visits Bill Hamilton with a proposal: a united front against federal investigators that would save both families. Their scene together reveals the full history between these families, including the bombshell that Bill and Anita had an affair years ago and that Chelsea Hamilton might actually be Vernon's biological daughter. The scene ends with Bill's rejection of her offer and Anita's chilling promise: "If I burn, we all burn together." Her exit from Bill's house, head held high despite her crumbling world, reminds us why Anita has been the season's most compelling character. Ted finally confesses to Nicole about his involvement in covering up what really happened to Marcus Johnson. The scene is devastating as Nicole realizes her husband's complicity in a crime that now threatens both their families. Their argument escalates until Ted admits he's been cooperating with federal investigators against her father in exchange for immunity. Meanwhile, Martin and Smitty reach a crossroads of their own. After discovering Martin's family knew about the Oakwood Estate's corruption from the beginning, Smitty delivers an ultimatum: leave the community and start fresh, or end their marriage. Their conversation in their minimalist kitchen, the most honest scene in their storyline, lays bare the cost of wealth and privilege on personal integrity. The episode brilliantly crosscuts between these two couples in crisis, showing how the community's foundational corruption has poisoned even the most intimate relationships. The visual contrast between Nicole and Ted's ornate bedroom and Martin and Smitty's modern, sparse kitchen visually reinforces their different approaches to wealth and authenticity. The episode's central set piece is the emergency community meeting called to address the federal investigation and its implications for Oakwood Estates residents. Staged in the same ballroom where the season began with the charity gala, this sequence brings together all major characters for a public reckoning. Eva Thomas, who has emerged as the community's moral compass, leads the meeting that quickly devolves from organized discussion to chaotic confrontation. 1. Residents demand answers about whether their homes could be at risk due to the fraudulent land deals. 2. Chelsea Hamilton publicly accuses her father of corruption, confirming rumors that have circulated in the community. 3. Nicole defends her father despite knowing his guilt, splitting residents into factions. 4. Leslie Thomas reveals the complete dossier she's been compiling on community members' secrets, effectively holding a mirror to the collective hypocrisy. The meeting's turning point comes when Danny Dupree takes the podium. Her speech about how wealth corrupted her family's values evolves into a broader indictment of the community itself. As she speaks, the camera pans across faces registering guilt, anger, and recognition. A visual roll call of complicity. The sequence ends with Anita's dramatic entrance, an announcement that Vernon has been arrested, followed by her collapse from an apparent heart attack, creating the episode's most shocking moment. The episode's final act deals with the immediate aftermath of the community meeting. Anita is rushed to the hospital, with Nicole and Danny following in separate cars, symbolizing the family's fracture. The hospital waiting room becomes a microcosm of the community, with various characters arriving to either support the Duprees or witness their downfall. The most powerful scene occurs between Bill Hamilton and Chelsea after she discovers she might be Vernon's daughter. Their confrontation in the hospital chapel layers 2 decades of familial resentment with this new biological revelation. When Chelsea asks, "Was anything in my life real?" the question resonates as the season's central theme. Meanwhile, outside Vernon's arraignment, reporters swarm as he's released on bail. His brief press statement: "I built Oakwood Estates to protect my family and community. I won't apologize for that," perfectly encapsulates his character's tragic flaw, the inability to distinguish between protection and control. The episode builds to its devastating climax when Eva Thomas, driving home from the hospital, notices Leslie's car parked at the Oakwood Estates lake. Finding Leslie's shoes and a note on the shore, Eva realizes her sister has made a final, desperate choice rather than face the community's implosion. This tragedy brings the season full circle. Another death connected to the community's secrets, echoing Marcus Johnson's fate that set these events in motion years ago. Anita in her hospital bed, awakening to find only Danny at her side. Nicole having chosen to be with Ted during his immunity negotiation. Martin packing his belongings while Smitty watches silently from the doorway, their decision apparently made. Chelsea staring at old family photos, seeing Vernon's features in her own face for the first time. Bill Hamilton shredding documents in his home office while watching news coverage of Vernon's arrest. Eva Thomas standing at the lake's edge, where her sister disappeared, placing flowers on the water. The montage culminates in the season's final shocking revelation. Naomi Hamilton, who has been a relatively minor character, meeting secretly with federal agents. As she hands over a flash drive containing what she describes as everything my father and Vernon Dupree have been hiding for 20 years, we realize the investigation was triggered not by Danny's discovery, but by Naomi's long game plan for justice. The finale ends with several perfect cliffhangers setting up season 2. 1. Vernon receives a mysterious phone call in his home study, with the caller saying only, "They found something at the lake," suggesting Leslie's apparent suicide may connect to Marcus Johnson's death. 2. Nicole discovers she's pregnant, creating a literal new generation that will bear the legacy of the community's sins. 3. A real estate developer from a neighboring county views drone footage of Oakwood Estates, telling his assistant to prepare an offer they can't refuse, suggesting external threats to the community. Most significantly, Danny finds a key hidden in her mother's hospital room flower arrangement, leading her to a storage facility containing evidence that Anita, not Vernon, masterminded the original corrupt land deal. These threads brilliantly set up Season 2's apparent focus. While Season 1 explored the community's present unraveling, Season 2 will clearly delve deeper into its corrupt foundations and the women who actually pulled the strings behind the scenes. From the pilot's pristine gala to this finale's chaotic community meeting, the season has systematically dismantled the carefully constructed facade of Oakwood Estates. The visual evolution from perfect, sun-drenched scenes to increasingly shadowy, fractured compositions reflects this thematic journey. While Vernon and Bill appeared to be the community's power brokers, the finale reveals the women, Anita, Leslie, and now Naomi, as the true agents of both corruption and justice. The show has brilliantly subverted expectations about who really holds power. Chelsea's potential paternity, Nicole's pregnancy, and Danny's moral awakening all explore how the sins of one generation impact the next. The season ultimately asks whether breaking cycles of corruption requires breaking family bonds. Leslie's apparent suicide and Naomi's methodical evidence gathering represent two approaches to addressing past wrongs, one destructive, one potentially redemptive. This finale showcases why Beyond the Gates has generated such awards buzz, with several standout performances. Delivers a tour de force as Anita Dupree, transitioning from controlled manipulation to desperate scrambling without losing the character's essential dignity. Portrays Vernon's fall with subtle shifts in physicality, his gradually slumping shoulders and loosening tie, visually representing his loss of power. Has completed the season's most compelling character arc, evolving from idealistic but naive to principled and resolute. Handles the paternity revelation with raw emotional honesty that elevates what could have been a soap opera twist. Beyond the Gates has delivered a first-season finale that resolves central conflicts while opening exciting new questions. The writers have masterfully balanced satisfying payoffs with tantalizing setups, creating that perfect finale feeling. Enough resolution to satisfy, enough mystery to keep us eager for Season 2. The show's exploration of wealth, power, race, and moral compromise has elevated what could have been simple melodrama into one of the year's most thought-provoking dramas. By using this exclusive community as a microcosm for larger societal issues, Beyond the Gates offers both escapist entertainment and substantive commentary. What did you think of the finale? Were you shocked by Leslie's fate? Do you believe Vernon or Anita is more responsible for the community's corruption? And what do you predict for Season 2? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit that like button and subscribe for our upcoming videos speculating on Season 2 theories. I'm also planning a full season, one character evolution analysis that you won't want to miss. Thanks for watching this season's journey with me, and I'll see you next season when we step beyond the gates once again.